Hey, how you doing? Stephen Ming here with HomeTeam Inspections. This is part 4 of our 5-part series on radon. Today we're going to talk about the equipment we use, the results that we get from the test, and how we are testing. So let's get to it. This is the Corinthium Pro from AirThings. This is the particular device that HomeTeam uses to monitor and test for radon. We use this because it tests for a number of different things besides radon, such as temperature, humidity, barometric pressure, and if the device was moved. And that adds a scope of depth and helps you have a little more information about our findings. Here's another image of a device actually testing. And what we do when we test these, we try to set them up in the lowest level of the structure, towards the middle if possible, away from any air conditioning vents, return vents, uh, outside of a bathroom or kitchen, uh, outside of a hallway that might have a whole bunch of air movement. And the reason we do that, we want to try to have this be as undisturbed as possible. Uh, as far as an undisturbed, we also don't want the people who are currently living there to mess with the device because that can give it a false reading. We'll actually put a sign on the device like this, which reminds the current occupants not to mess with the device and to keep the windows and doors closed as much as possible. That's important because if the windows and doors are open, it can cause all the air to evacuate out the structure, causing us to get a false reading of the actual levels of radon. I also mentioned, like I said, we have a tampering detector on this device, so we know if someone's been messing with it and lets us know that if someone has been up to something nefarious. Now let's go over a radon test result. This is what a result looks like, our findings. So it gives us the name of the property, the address, any type of ventilation the property may already have, the building type, the basement foundation type, and if there's any mitigation system already in place. Next, we have the results summary. And this is where we're going to get the meat and potatoes, the actual level of radon that we experienced during the test period. In this case, there was a minimum of 1.6 picocuries per liter, an average of 4.9 picocuries per liter, and a maximum of 9.4 picocuries per liter. Our results are always going to be based upon the average because there's things that can cause fluctuations. And so we want to always go by the average number. In this case, we had 4.9 picocuries, which means that it had a high reading and they would be suggested to get some sort of mitigation going on. Below that, we have the temperature, which gives us the minimum, average, and maximum temperature observed during the test period. We have the humidity level, again, minimum, average, and maximum, and atmospheric pressure that was during that test period. And towards the bottom, we have there any motion detection of the device if it's tampered with. So then we have a graph here that shows the radon level and air pressure graphs. You might notice that there's a little bit of a correlation between atmospheric pressure and radon. And that's because when you have a higher pressure system in the area, it's literally pushing on the soil, which would cause there to be a higher reading on radon. If it's lower pressure system, like even if you're like a severe storm in the area or a hurricane, you would generally get a lower reading. Temperature and humidity, that's also on there. That's just to give you a general understanding of what the temperature like and humidity was like. We like to see it be less than 55 degrees as far as less than 55% humidity, because it's better for our equipment. There's our company information. And here is the overall, the result. In this particular case, there was a recommendation, according to the EPA, to go ahead and have a mitigation system installed and have a retest done. Hope you find all this useful. This concludes part 4. We have one more section that we're going to do next week. We're just going to wrap things up, and you want to stay tuned because we have something really special. So please do come back to us next week. And if you need a home inspection or radon inspection this time, please do reach out to us. 678-293-8474. Stephen Ming with HomeTeam Inspections. Fast, trusted, and accurate. That's the HomeTeam promise.